So you just reached level 85 on your character, and now you would like to know how you gear up as quickly as possible in Cataclysm. This I will explain in this guide. So when you're questing or maybe farming profession materials in the open world, pay attention to nearby rares. Rare enemies has always a guaranteed chance to drop a rare item, and in some cases they might also be the one that you need for your class. If you haven't already done the arena quest in Twilight Highlands, head here immediately and start a group. It's going to be a couple of quest chains that will reward you some decent gold, and at the end you can also get yourself a rare weapon. As a fresh level 85 character, you won't be able to solo this, so assemble a party of 3 to 5 people to make it a lot easier and quicker. If you have a decent amount of gold, you could also purchase rare or maybe even epic items on the auction house to boost your character's item level, or simply spend the gold and purchase materials to speed level your professions, as professions allow you to craft many different items that will be useful when you're going to head into your first dungeon at level 85. Another solution would simply be to purchase the materials and find a crafter and pay a fee. But to be honest, then I would recommend you to level your own professions to 500, as it allows you to craft many different things. For example, as an alchemist, you can craft many useful trinkets, no matter if you're DPS, healer, or tank. Talking about professions, then I would also recommend everyone to level up archaeology, as you can get different epic items that will be bind on account. These epic items you could then be sending to a fresh level 85 character to have a huge head start. What else should you be doing? Well, of course, sign up for the random dungeon finder as quickly as possible, but maybe you don't have the required item level to sign up, as it will require you to also have an item level of 305. Don't worry, there's an easy solution to this. You could make your own party and simply head into the dungeon without using the random dungeon finder, because you won't need the required item level to enter the dungeon as long as you're not using the random dungeon finder tool. This also brings us on to another important topic. Make sure you do one of each dungeon on normal difficulty. By doing this, you will also be able to complete all the different quests, and most of these will guarantee you a rare item. Most of these rare items will also be item level 333, so this will boost your overall item level, so you can start using the random dungeon finder a bit quicker. Else, you should continue to quest in Uldum on Twilight Highlands, as those two zones has many different quests where you also get a blue item at the end that is going to be 333 item level. Alright, so at this point you should also be ready to start using the random dungeon finder tool, and it will be important as it's going to reward you 140 justice points whenever you complete the whole dungeon. But before you sign up to your first dungeon, you should also get the new tabards that allow you to gain reputation whenever you do a level 85 normal or heroic dungeon. But before you can purchase these brand new tabards, you will also need to be friendly with the faction. So if you haven't been here as you're leveled up, you will probably have to go to the zone and do a bit of questing. So why would you like to focus on getting reputation? Well, when you get to Honored, there's going to be many level 333 items you can purchase, and you could even be using these as you were leveling up. Then at Revert, it's going to be 346, and at Exalted, it's going to be epic items with item level 359. On top of this, some factions also sell items such as enchants, so it will be quite useful, especially because these will be bind on account as well. Now some of you might also be curious, where do we purchase these new tabards? Well, at the different Quartermasters. The first one located here in Mount Hyjal at North Brazil. The Earthen Ring Quartermaster is located in Vashir at this location. From this faction you can also get a head enchant, but this time for tanks. There's of course also 4 different epic items, a pair of club hands, plate hands, a ring, and even a pair of mail boots. To get your new rare and epic shoulder enchants, you'll have to go to Deepholm and focus on this faction. These shoulder enchants will sadly not be bind on account like the ones we had in Breath of the Lich King, therefore you will also have to focus on this faction on every single character you level to 85. Or you could level up your inscription to 500 and get the brand new shoulder enchants that will be way better than these. In Uldum, there's also a faction you can focus on, and like I mentioned earlier in the video, try to complete as many quests here as possible. Not just because you will be able to get rare items at the end of these quest chains that will most likely be 333 item level, but because you're also going to get reputation whenever you complete these quests. In Twilight Highlands it's a bit different, because both factions won't be using the same Quartermaster. Instead, as an alliance player, you will have to find the one from Wildhammer clan. However, even though the faction name will be different, then all the different items you can purchase at the Quartermaster is going to be the exact same, no matter if you're playing Horde or Alliance. As a Horde player, your Quartermaster can be found right here in the middle of the zone. For those of you wondering, the name of this faction is the Dragonmaw clan. Alright, so now you're definitely ready to dungeon farm, no matter if you're using the dungeon finder or not. When you use the random dungeon finder, you will of course get into random dungeons, and therefore you can't always plan what loot you're going to get, or well, if there's going to be any loot in the dungeon that you need, beside the quest you can complete. So what you could do instead is to use the dungeon finder tool, but sign up for a specific dungeon. You will of course not be able to get the justice points reward at the end when you complete the dungeon, but you can focus on things you will need. And even though you won't be able to get the justice points bonus at the end, then every time you slay a boss, you will also be rewarded with this currency. Your justice points is spent at a Quartermaster. As a Horde player, it's going to be right here in Orgrimmar, and you can purchase many different useful items that I will cover in a moment. In fact, there's also going to be a Valor Quartermaster, but this won't be important yet. As an Alliance player, you will have to go to the Old Town in Stormwind City. So what can we spend our justice points on? Well, level 346 item level equipment, equal to the item level you get in a heroic dungeon. This allows you to gear up your character a lot easier, as you can choose the specific item you would like to get. I do know you cannot choose two-hand weapons, main-hand weapons, rings or trinkets, but else there's going to be many other solid choices. Next, you would simply like to continue farming dungeons and purchase items with your justice points, until you have an average item level of 329. When your average item level is 329, you can also start signing up for random Cataclysm heroic and get the Valor point bonus at the end. Just remember, you can only get this bonus 7 times a week, so there is going to be a Valor point cap. If you're still lacking item level to sign up, then you could of course just use your honor points or farm honor points and purchase 352 PvP items. I know they're PvP items, but you could equip them to sign up, and then the moment you enter the dungeon, you could simply swap to your PvE gear. Some of you might still have some leftover Wintergrasp commendation from Wrath of the Lich King. These you could also use to boost your honor. Just remember, you can no longer purchase them in Wintergrasp. Alright, so when you start farming Valor points, you can spend them in Stormwind City or Orgrimmar at the Valor Quartermaster. There will even be a pair of boots for every single role in the game, and these are bind on equip, so you could purchase them onto your auction house and simply save your own Valor points for other items, such as an epic ring or maybe even an epic trinket. Another option would be to level an all character, and all the Valor points you farm in the beginning you can spend on the boots and send these to your main character. I would also highly recommend you to head to Tol Barad. In this zone there's going to be many different daily quests you can do that rewards your gold, reputation with a faction we haven't focused on yet, and also Tol Barad commendations, which is a currency you will need. You get these commendations by doing the daily quest, but also the new PvP event Tol Barad that happens every 2.5 hours. You will be gaining reputation when you complete the different daily quests and also doing Tol Barad, and as you get to Exalted you can get yourself an amazing epic trinket. In fact, there's going to be a trinket for every single role in the game, no matter if you're playing melee or ranged DPS, healer or tank. So it will be important to focus on these daily quests to get reputation, but also the Tol Barad commendation. And as a PvP player it will definitely be important, as you can get your new PvP and shoulder enchants from this Quartermaster. In the PvP zone you can also pick up daily quests, and these you could be doing as you're waiting for the next battle for Tol Barad. If you wish to see when the next battle for Tol Barad is happening, press H to open up the PvP menu. Here you can also sign up for the event. For those of you wondering what the battle for Tol Barad is about, well, I've made a complete guide with everything you will need to know, and you can find this either on my channel or in the description below this video. Talking about PvP, then you should also try the new feature in Cataclysm, Rated Battlegrounds. When you do Rated Battlegrounds or Arena, you're going to be rewarded with Conquest points, which is equal to Arena points in Wrath of the Lich King. With your Conquest points, you can then purchase yourself level 365 item level PvP items. Yeah, every single slot in the game will be available, even weapons, but you will also need to have earned a total of 7,200 Conquest points before you can purchase any of these. So what should you be doing next if you wish to start raiding anytime soon? Well, I would highly recommend you to start farming gold, as you could spend the gold on new epic items, rare items, consumables, yeah, the list goes on and on. There's many different ways you could be farming gold, and all of these I've covered in my Cataclysm gold guide that you can find in the description below this video. This is of course a paid project, but then again it's going to be a way for you to support me as a content creator and get something in return. Alright, so this also marks the ending of this video. In the future I'll publish a lot more useful Cataclysm videos, so make sure to subscribe or hit the notification bell to get notified when I post these. But as always, thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day.